Learning the alphabet letters is really useful to spell because...
Learning the alphabet is a key part of primary education. As the building blocks for the future, students will need to understand how to correctly draw each letter and know the sounds associated with each one. Useful resources for this session include some magnetic capital and lowercase letters, a bag, and a whiteboard with coloured non-permanent markers.
And we have what we call lowercase letters, which are the letters you see.
Dyslexic students may have a short attention span and can't take in large chunks of information unless broken into small parts. To start with, take 5 letters and help your student focus on them.
Okay.
Okay, any questions?
Not so far.
Okay, good.
Each letter has an upper and lower case grapheme, and these can look and sound different to a dyslexic student. Each letter shape can be hard to draw, and some letters can look similar. How can a student remember their differences?
I was trying to build up an understanding of alphabetic order. That's important because if you don't understand alphabetic order, using dictionaries is particularly difficult because we look things up by the first letter. So I think it is important to understand the letter names and, if possible, the sequence. But I broke it down because I think William can take it in chunks of 5. Any more than that, he wouldn't be able to.
They are slightly different, but they're all similar to that shape. The only one
to point out that some fonts use a different A. G will be a peculiar one, and Z sometimes is different. So just to point out that although the shape's different, there still are only 26 letters in the alphabet.
Explain that letters are simply pictures of sounds and can be sorted into consonants or vowels. Vowels are important as every word must have at least one vowel sound. Help the student describe the look and feel of each shape. The student needs to understand the difference between a capital and a lowercase letter and how they sound.
D is a funny one because on that the circle's going that way, but on this one the circle's going that way.
To keep the student's attention, you may find information needs to be delivered in small chunks. Plan a few different games and move from one to the other once the student becomes unfocused.
Right, well done.
There we go.
Okay.
Some children learn more through games than the hard learning. The games have to be fair in that they soon suss out either if the teacher always wins, then that's demotivating, or if they always win, then they know that it's not a fair game. So all the games that I use, there's a real chance that either of us could win, and I think he finds that engaging.
Like an apple that's just been half bitten.
Wow, that's a lovely way of describing it. Well done.
One of the things that he really struggles with is sorting out the D and the B, and he has got the strategy of that's B and that's D, and that's not unusual.
The D has got a flick.
It's got a flick.
And on the B it hasn't.
Okay.
If a child isn't given full attention to something, then they're not taking in all the information. By making that into a game and talking through how can we describe these letters, I really, really wanted him to be explicit about the shapes and the clues that are there, and for him to really focus on them. And I think he did it really, really well.
Knowing your learner is a key part of devising games. Each needs to be short and contain a small amount of information in order to prevent the student from feeling overwhelmed. Devise games to allow the learner to both recognise and write the letter shapes. Offer the learner a choice of activity and ensure breaks are built into the session. It's important that the learner experiences success, so adjust the activities to ensure this is achieved.
I think this is a vowel, and it's a lowercase vowel. and it's got a closed loop and then an open curve at the bottom.
I think it might be the green letter E.
Fantastic! Yes. One of the key things with new pupils is getting that rapport, for them to realise that it's okay to make mistakes. Nobody's going to get cross. If they make a mistake, then it's for me to think, how am I going to make sure that that either doesn't happen again, or we address it in a way that is non-threatening, so that we can make it into a learning opportunity. That's why I want to know, what are they good at? What are their strengths? What are their interests? So that I can think about the vocabulary that we're going to use. You know, I can think of something that's going to interest them. I can make a game that's, you know, they're going to say, oh yes, I'd like to play that. If you don't know your learner, you're not going to get the best out of them.
At the end of the session, use a black or white board to let the student demonstrate automatic responses. Get them to write lowercase and the corresponding capital letters while saying their names.
Oh, I think I've got the D wrong.
Do you need to check it?
Yeah.
Ask the student what they enjoyed most in the session and what they feel they need more help with.
Thumbs up, thumbs down, in the middle, thumbs up, thumbs down. Good.
So, to recap the key points for teaching the alphabet. Pick small groups of letters, about 5 at a time. Have the student describe the shape of each capital and lowercase letter. Highlight the difference between lowercase graphemes and letter names. Devise games to reinforce letter shapes. Get the student to demonstrate automatic responses in writing.